Osmandias. Yes. So for 14 lines are there. You can frame totally 7 questions. 3 already there. 4 more you can frame. Okay. Then prayer of a black boy. Here also 3 questions are there, but a very big poem. So many lines repeated again and again. So the length of the line. Frame 7 more questions. That's enough. Next, playthings. Child. Child, how happy you are sitting in the dust, playing with the broken twig all the morning. A smile at your play with that little bit of a broken twig. I am busy with my accounts, adding up figures by the hour. Perhaps you glance at me and think, what a stupid game to spoil your morning with. Child, I have forgotten the art of being absorbed in sticks and mud pies. I seek out costly playthings and gather lumps of gold and silver. With whatever you find, you create your glad games. I spend both my time and my strength over things I can never obtain. In my frail canoe, I struggle to cross the sea of desire and forget that I am playing a game. Normally, a very fascinating, attractive duration of our life is childhood. Especially up to 10 years. 10 years onwards, the society restricts us. Maybe in our talks, maybe in our walks, maybe in our approach, maybe in our behavior, maybe in our look, maybe in our dress. That implies some restriction on us. But children, that's also below 5 years, they're free birds, amazing childhood. Always while teaching this poem, I remember Subhadra Kumari Chauhan, the Hindi poetess. Yes. Aja bachpan ek baar fir de de apni nirmal shanti, she told in one poem like that. So here, a father, he is busy with his accounts. He glances his child who is playing with. For children, nothing is needed to play. Costly playthings you may bring and give it to them, but they like to play in mud, soil, rainwater. That's also dirty water. Good fresh water if you give, they don't like. And making all the cloth dirty and wet, and they enjoy a lot. They enjoy a lot. Small children, just 2-3 years children also, if you allow them to play with water, placing them in a bucket, they just struggle to come out. But they won't struggle, they enjoy. I remember few years before, now that both the children are engineers, a family was there in Bombay. It's a very, very big, busy, hectic, worked people gathered over there, and such is a city it was. A couple was there who had 2 children of 1 year difference. Elder is the boy and younger is the girl, I think. I just saw them, heard them. I didn't see this particular event. The wife, husband has to go to work morning itself. The wife used to finish all the household work by noon, give food for these children, and allow around 4 to 5 years children inside the water tub. Very big tub, 2 tubs they had it seems. One tub would have been emptied by noon. There, around half feet or 1 feet water left off. There she'll drop these children, and it's very high, the children can't come out, and go to market, locking from outside. It's impossible for them to drown because that much space is not there, that much water is also not there. And she'll finish her work in 1 or 1.5 hours and return. At that time also, the children won't be willing to come out of the tub at all because they'll be playing all wet. So I always remember those children, how they spent their childhood in such a busy city where not allowed to go out to see the sun, right? So in that sense, we are lucky. Child, how happy you are sitting in the dust, playing with a broken twig all the morning. Nothing is needed for the children. I saw a child who used to play just with the black ant always for hours. So, how happy you are sitting in the dust. If there is little dust in the bench, you just dust it off and be very careful to sit so that the dust won't stick your dress. But child, they won't bother. They sit wherever possible, wherever they feel comfortable. How happy you are sitting in the dust, playing with the broken twig all the morning. A smile at your play with that little bit of broken twig. The twig is also broken twig. With this smile, you play all the day with that twig. I am busy with my accounts, adding up figures by the hour. From hours and hours, I am busy with my accounts when you play with that twig. Perhaps you glance at me and think, what a stupid game to spoil your morning with. So, you can't understand the seriousness of my work. You may think that I am playing with these books and accounts. You may think that this is a stupid game to spoil my morning. Child, I have forgotten the art of being absorbed in sticks and mud pies. So the children will do mud pies and play. So I have forgotten the art of being absorbed, concentrate and absorbed in that sticks and mud pies like you. I seek out costly playthings and gather lumps of gold and silver. Now I am interested in earning more money. So gathering lumps of gold and silver, I seek out costly playthings. With whatever you find, you create your glad games. With whatever you find, maybe broken sticks or an ant or mud pie or whatever, you create your glad games. Glad means happy. I spend both my time and my strength over things I can never obtain. Over the things which I know that I can't obtain those things, still I spend my day, both my time and strength on them. In my frail canoe, I struggle to cross the sea of desire and forget that I too am playing a game. So, let's see the questions. So, questions are not there. Can you frame questions? What was the child doing? It was playing with a broken twig. All the morning is not needed. What was the child doing? It's playing with a broken twig. What the speaker is doing? He is busy with his accounts, adding up figures by the hour. It's not, he is busy with his account. That's enough. What might have been the child thought of the speaker? He is playing a stupid game to spoil his morning. The child might have been thought that he is playing a stupid game to spoil his morning. So, what did the speaker forget? The speaker had forgotten the art of being absorbed in sticks and mud pies. What do? He gathered lumps of gold and silver. What did the poet forget? He forgot that he too was playing a game. Finished. That's enough. You may think that it's difficult, but it's not difficult just because you will get the four lines of the poem there. Just by reading them, you have to answer the question set on them below, just as a passage. Here, passage is unseen, but poem is not unseen. That's all the difference. So it will be easier. I know why the caged bird sings. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and days to claim the sky. Normally, language classes are very interesting just because we need not sit so seriously as our subject classes here. Little bit enjoyment, little bit entertainment, everything will be there. So, I know why the caged bird sings. There a little small story for you in this poem. A boy, he had a bird, caged bird of his own, parrot. He was caring it much more. This is story, remember, don't ask how it will be and all. Once he went to his grandparents' house to spend his holidays, hand over this pet bird under the care of his parents and sister. He went there. There, with his friends, he went to a forest where a strange thing used to happen every year. A sage used to come. He used to sprinkle holy water on these children, and they used to change their forms into the animals which they wish. There's some wish to be deer, some wish to be birds, some wish to be lions, like that. They won't quarrel each other because in their heart, they knew that they are birds. They are the human beings. And the evening, again, the sage used to come exactly at 5 o'clock and sprinkle holy water on them, and they used to get the original forms. The children used to enjoy this very much. They took him also, and he wanted to be a parrot, to know more about his parrot. He wanted to become a parrot. The holy water was sprinkled on him. He changed into a form of a parrot. He just wandered there, enjoyed a lot the whole day being a parrot, and understood what the parrot likes and everything in and out. But forgot to reach there to the place where the sage was reaching exactly at 5 o'clock. The sage reached, sprinkled holy water on children, and went off. This boy was not there. Within 5 minutes, the boy reached, and he was in bird form only. The sage was not there. What to do? These children took this parrot to their grandparents' house. They shocked to know this matter, and they called their parents. They rushed. They cried. He took him to their house. There, he wanted to eat, but he couldn't because he was a parrot. He wanted to read. He couldn't because he was a parrot. He wanted to play with his sister different games. He couldn't because he was a parrot. He wanted to operate his computers. No, he couldn't because he was a parrot. He wanted to chat with his friends. No, he couldn't because he was a parrot. Just like 1 year was spent with all struggle, worry, tension, everything. The next year, they took the boy there to their grandparents' house, and from in that area, elders are not permitted to go. Okay, these children took this boy to the sage and told the matter at 10 o'clock when he told, no, I can't sprinkle holy water now. To get your original form, he has to wait until 5 o'clock. Okay, he waited. He did not go anywhere. There only he was roaming. At 5 o'clock, the sage came and sprinkled holy water on them. The boy also got his original form. They rushed home, taking this boy, and his parents were too happy. They returned home to the city. There, as soon as he opened the door, he did not tell anything. Directly he went to the cage and let the bird to fly free. Why? Because he understood what really a bird wants to be. A caged bird, why it sings? Because it needs freedom. It needs freedom. You might have been observed at 4 o'clock when the school last bell rings, the small kids, they won't come out silently. With a howl of enjoyment, they come out. Why? They feel that till that moment they were in prison and now they are let to go free. No? So in school itself, if we feel so that if we put a bird in a cage, how could it be felt? No? Yes. Let's have this poem. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. A free bird, it leaps. Leaps means jumps on the back of the wind wherever it wants and floats downstream till the current ends, water current ends, and dips his wings in the orange sun rays. Just imagine, dips his wings in the orange sun rays, appears to be orangish because of the evening sun rays, and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stacks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. He can't fly. A bird which is kept inside the cage, he can't fly. Because his wings are clipped. He has he don't have sufficient place to fly or to roam also. And his feet are tied because he was not allowed to go out. So he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with the fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings for freedom. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown. Why its singing is unknown, for longed for still, it wishes. Again, longing means wishes for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, so loudly it howls, it sings. For the caged bird sings of freedom. It sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees. The free bird thinks of another breeze because it's free, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees. Trees are feeling to be sighing. Sighing means taking a long breath of sorrow. And the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn. Fat worms which could be eaten by the birds. Waiting for a dawn. Dawn means early morning. Bright lawn. And he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. Tomorrow I'll be free. Day after tomorrow I'll be free. It caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare stream. Nightmare means bad dream which one could see at night. Not daydream. His shadow shouts on a nightmare stream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. So, if you felt this poem, not heard, not listened, if you felt this poem, and if you have pets, you may feel, at least for a moment, to let the birds to fly free. Am I right? Or if you have seen any of your neighbors or relatives keeping pet birds, you may feel for a moment, it may be temporary, that let the birds fly free. Why to keep them in cage? That is the effect of this poem. You have to feel the poem. Yes. Where does a free bird live? See, what does a free bird live? Lengthy answer. Such lengthy questions won't be answered. Lengthy answered questions, questions won't be asked. For this main also, you have to write the answer in a single sentence, small sentence. Where does the free bird leap? On the back of the wind. It leaps on the back of the wind. Where does it float? It floats downstream. And how is the sun rays? The sun rays are orange in color. How is the bird in the cage feels? It see through his bars of rage. Bars means here his bars of rage, anger, because it was imprisoned. And another is the bar of the cage also. Bars of rage. How was his wings? Wings are clipped. Why couldn't he fly? His wings are clipped and feet are tied. The caged bird sings, okay. Where did the tune of the caged bird hear? Heard in the distant hill. What does the free bird think? It thinks of another breeze. Where does the caged bird stands on? Where does the caged bird stand on? It stands on the grave of dreams. Where does its shadow shout? His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. Finished. So, these are the way how we can frame questions. While framing the questions, we should be very careful that the answer should be of one sentence. The answer should not be lengthier. Yes, the Indian upon God. The belief that keeps us moving forward. We believe our parents. We believe our strength. We believe in our strength. We believe in our hard work. We believe the future with the hope that it will be bright. Everywhere, belief is the strength of everybody. Right? Yes. Indians, whenever we have worries, problems, struggles, tension, my God, we pray God. How the God will be? We used to say in how Mahavishnu will be, how Shiva will be, how Durga will be, how Brahma will be. Different forms we give according to our imagination. According to our imagination. How Ganapati will be, how Subramanya will be, how Kalikambe will be, how Panchalingeshwara will be. We give the form for these gods according to our imagination. So, what do the different animals think of God? Yes. Do they think as we see? No. See, for example, see here. It says, I passed along the water's edge below the humid trees. My spirit rocked in the evening light and rushed down my knees. My spirit rocked in cheapened sighs and saw a mournful face, all dripping on a grassy slope, and saw them cease to chase each other round the circles and heard the eldest speak. Who holds the word between his bill and made us strong or weak? He is an undying mournful, and he lives beyond the sky. We think that the heaven is beyond the sky. And this poet, W. Yeats, he also says that all animals feel that God rests or God's house is there beyond the sky. We may call that as heaven or hell or whatever it may be. We consider that even Yamadharma, he is also a god. He lives in hell. He is in charge of hell. Okay, whatever it may be. Similarly, the different animals or different birds or animals, their thought for God is different. Here, a mournful pace. A bird, it pays. Mournful means a bird. It says that the God holds this whole world in his bill. He made us strong. Just between his bill, Bill means big. He holds the whole world. He is an undying mournful, and according to his thought, even the creatures also think that God has no death. The poet thinks that God has no death, even from the eyes of animals or birds also, and they think that he is an extraordinary of their category, because of which they explain the God according to their view. See, next, anyhow, here the Shivurama Karanta, you might have been heard about him. He says that bull may think that God has 8 horns, 8 legs, so huge in size. And a worm may think that God has 2 tails. It is according to their imagination, God will be there. Even the writers said. I'll continue this poem in the next class. Okay. Thank you, children.